Hello students, how are you all? Welcome, very warm welcome to all of you in EXL Academy channel. So today we are going to do a chapter of class 8, that is coal and petroleum. So here in this chapter I'll be explaining you each and everything word by word, line by line of the chapter. Also I will give you some important points and I will tell you that what type of questions will come in your exams. And believe me, whatever I'm going to tell you, the questions that will come in your exam, that are surely going to come in your exams. Okay, those are very important questions. So let's start with the chapter. We use various materials for our basic needs. Some of them are found in nature and some have been made by human efforts. So there are two types of things given in the chapter. What? That the materials are found in nature as well as few are made from the human efforts. Okay. So these are the two type of materials. One are natural and other are made by the human efforts. Now see, this is a table that is given to you. You have to list some of the natural materials and some of the man-made materials. So natural materials are what? That natural materials are sunlight, air, water, that we soil is there, that we get from nature. Okay, and what are man-made? Man-made, you may say that there are buildings, there are monuments, there are parks, there are schools. So there are many other things that are made by man. So these are known as man-made materials. Okay. So I hope this much is clear to you. Let's move forward. Does this list include air, water, soil and minerals? As I just told you, since all of these are obtained from nature, they are called natural resources. Now this is very important. Okay. What is important? That what are natural resources? Natural resources are those resources that are obtained from nature. So this question may come to you, that what are natural resources? Natural resources are obtained from nature and the examples include air, water, soil and minerals. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part of the chapter. Let me erase this. Fine. So now, can air, water and soil be exhausted by human activities? You have already studied about water in class 7. Is water a limitless resource? So what do you think? Is water a limitless resource? No, nowadays water is not limitless. So that is why it's told that we should use the water judiciously. We should not waste the water because it is not limitless. Okay. But there are few things like air, water and soil. Okay, they soil we can say, water we can say that they can get exhausted by when they're used by the human activities. But air, so air is not an exhaustible resource. Okay, air is an inexhaustible resource. You can use any amount of air, but it will be present in the atmosphere every time. In the light of the availability of the various resources in nature, natural resources can be broadly classified into two kinds. Now there are two kinds in which the natural resources has been classified. So one is inexhaustible natural resource, another is exhaustible natural resource. Now the other name you can give to inexhaustible natural resource is they are inexhaustible. That means they are unlimited. Okay. So they are unlimitedly present in the atmosphere, in the nature, they are present in an unlimited form. And exhaustible means they are present in the limited form. Okay. So if you are going to use them without thinking, they are going to exhaust. So these resources are present in unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to be exhausted by human activities. So you can use them as many in as many quantity as you want. So sunlight, air and water, use it. Yeah, they are not going to get exhausted. They are unlimited resources. Exhaustible natural resources are those resources which are found in the nature in the limited amount. So they get exhausted by the human activity. So this include forests. The more you cut the trees, the forest will get exhausted. The minerals are there, coal, petroleum and natural gas. So these will get exhausted if you will not use them judiciously. So now there are few resources that are given in this chapter. So we are going to study about coal, petroleum and natural gas. So there is an example that is given here about that. If you will not you can just read out this example. It is not going to come in your exams, but the thing that is going to be tested in your exam can be the natural resources that are exhaustible. Okay, so the three things that we are going to read in this chapter are exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum, or natural gas. Okay, so now let's read about these three things one by one. What are these things, how they are formed, and what are their properties and all. So in this chapter, we will learn about some exhaustible natural resources. Minded, these are exhaustible natural resources. Okay, if you will use them in an unlimited form, you will not take care of these resources. They are going to get exhausted. Like coal, petroleum, and natural gas, these were formed from the dead remains of living organisms, that is fossils. So these are known as fossil fuels. Now, why these are known as fossil fuels? So this is a very important term. What are fossils? Fossils are the dead remains of living organisms. Okay. So if it's asked that what is a fossil, yeah, what are fossils? So you can say that they are the dead remains of living organisms. Okay, and as they are used in the form of a fuel, so they are known as fossil fuels. Is it clear? I hope this definition is clear to you. Now let's study about what is coal and how it is formed. So coal, you can see this picture. This is a picture of a coal. It is black in color. How it is formed? It is formed when the dead remains of plants. So it was thousands and thousands, millions and millions years ago, when the dead remains of plants were buried deep inside the ground, deep inside the earth, and with a high pressure, high temperature, these forests or these plants get converted into coal. So you may have seen a coal or heard about it. It is as hard as a stone and is black in color. Now it is as hard as a stone, but it is not a stone. Mind, okay? Just remember this. That it is as hard as stone, but it is not a stone, and it is black in color. Coal is one of the fuels used to cook food. Now this is one of the uses of petrol. Oh, sorry, coal. Okay, this is one of the uses of coal, that it is used to cook food. Earlier it was used in railway engines, so it was also used in railway engines, okay, to produce steam. It is also used in thermal power plants. So just underline whatever I am underlining. These are the uses. It is used to cook food. Earlier it was used in railway engines to produce steam, and it is also used as thermal power plants to produce electricity. Now coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. Okay, so it is used in various industries also. So these are the uses of coal. Now what is the story of coal? Where do we get coal from? So let's study about it. About 300 million years ago, the earth has dense forest in low-lying wetland areas. Now due to what happened, there were dense forests, okay? They were all filled with huge trees and dense trees, okay? Now what happened due to natural processes? So due to natural processes like flooding, the forest got buried under the soil. So now what happened? So these were the forests that were in the low-lying areas. Okay, so these were the forests. Now due to the natural phenomena like flooding and also they got buried inside the soil. As more soil deposited over them, so what happened due to the time, more and more soil get keep on depositing on it. So they got compressed. Okay, so ये नीचे दबता चला गया. Okay, it becomes compressed. The temperature also rose. Now you know कि earth के नीचे कितना ज़्यादा temperature होता है. There is very high temperature under the earth. So यहाँ से ऊपर से it was compression और नीचे से क्या हो रहा था? It was high temperature. Okay, so high pressure and high temperature. Dead plants got slowly converted to coal. As coal contains mainly carbon, now this is very important thing, that coal mainly contains carbon. The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is known as carbonization. Now what is the process of carbonization? Just underline it. This is very important term. Okay, so the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is known as carbonization, and it is a very important term. Now two things very important you have learned out here, कि carbon जो coal है that mainly contains what? It contains carbon. Okay, and the process in which the dead vegetation of plants gets converted into coal is known as carbonization. Since it was formed from the remains of vegetation, coal is also called as a fossil fuel. So अभी हमने यहाँ पर पढ़ा था कि fossils क्या होते हैं? Dead remains of living organisms. So same thing is here. Why it is called a fossil fuel? Because it is made up of remains of the dead plants. So it is known as fossil fuel. Now here we can see the picture of a coal mine. You can see that there is a coal mine and coal is being dug from here. So when heated in air, coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide. Another important question that can be tested in your exam. What happens when the coal gets heated? When coal burns, it produces which gas? Carbon dioxide gas. So it is very important that when coal burns, it produces carbon dioxide gas. Coal is processed in industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal, coal tar and coal gas. Now what do you need to remember that this is a coal and it contains three products. We can take out three products out of it. Okay, so the first product is coke. Certainly it is not the coke that you drink. Okay, that is another thing that we get from coal. Then there is a coal tar and the third thing that you get is coal gas. So these three things, three products you get from coal. Now what is coke? Let's study about it. So just give you a very brief and very crisp notes about coke, coal gas and coal tar, so that I will also tell you which questions will be tested in your exam. Okay. So what is coal? Let's come to the next PPT that I have just made for you because this is very important. So I have jotted down. Now coke, what is coke? It is a tough, porous and black substance. Okay. It is the black substance obtained after heating coal in the absence of air. Now you have to remember that whenever the coal is heated in the absence of air, that is in the absence of oxygen, coke is produced. And now very important question. This is very important. Okay. So coke is the purest form of coal. Okay. Pure form of carbon, 98% carbon. It contains 98% carbon. So if the question is asked which is the purest form of coal, it is coke. Coke is the purest form, okay, because it is mainly made up of carbon and that is 98%. Now coke is a better fuel than coal. Why it is a better fuel than coal? This question is also important. Okay, why? Because it produces more heat on burning and does not produce much smoke. Now this point is about the use of the coke. Where it is used. This is an important point. So just make a star over it. It is used in manufacturing of steel and for extraction of many metals. Okay. So the question may come that coke is used in the manufacturing of steel. It is used in synthetic dyes. It is used in paints and it is used in leveling the roads. So the correct option would be it is used in manufacturing of steel. Okay. Now what is coal tar? Coal tar, now the question may come that which is the liquid form of coal. So the liquid form of coal is black liquid, it is coal tar. It is a liquid form of coal. Okay. It has an unpleasant smell as well. It is a residue obtained by heating coal in the absence of oxygen. अब ये residue है. Residue का मतलब क्या होता है? Remains. जैसे कि कुछ बच गया सामान, ठीक है, तो प्योर फॉर्म नहीं है ये भी एब्सेंस ऑफ एयर यानी एब्सेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन में ही बनाया जाता है. इट इज अ मिक्सचर ऑफ 200 डिफरेंट कार्बन कंपाउंड्स. नाउ दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. व्हाई इट इज नॉट प्योर? Because it is made up of 200 different carbon compounds. Okay. It is also used in the making of naphthalene balls. Now this is a very important question. The question may comes that which coal product is used in making naphthalene balls. So the answer is coal tar. Okay. And why it is used? What are naphthalene balls? They are used to repel moths and other insects. It is used in as a starting material for manufacturing various substances like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, and so on. So you can see that these are all the uses. Okay, so these are all the uses of coal tar. Now coal gas. Now we have seen that coke. What is coke? It is the solid part of coal. Coal tar is the liquid part of coal, and now coal gas, it is the gaseous part. Okay, so this is a gaseous part of coal. It is obtained, again it is obtained on heating coal in the absence of oxygen. Again it is not pure. As coke is pure, it contains only carbon. Coal gas is mainly contains methane and carbon monoxide. Okay, it produces a large of heat when it is burned. It is used as fuel in many industries which are suitable for coal processing. Okay, so these are the important points about these three products. So you can just take a screenshot of it. I'll minimize it so that you can take a screenshot. These are very important points about coal product. Okay, now let's come to the previous slide. Now, what is coke? We have already studied. It is tough, porous, and black substance, almost pure form of carbon. As I already told you, it is pure form of carbon. Coke is used in the manufacturing of steel and extraction of many metals. What is coal tar? That is black, thick, and liquid. Okay, remember uh, it is a liquid form of coal, and it has a very unpleasant smell. It is a mixture of 200 substances. So products obtained, I just showed you in the previous PPT. Okay. Now very important question. It is very important question. So just make a point of it. These days bitumen, a petroleum product, is used in place of coal tar for metaling the roads. So earlier what happened, whenever where we were metaling the roads, we were leveling the roads, we used coal tar. So some of you might have seen that earlier we use coal tar, or your parents might have seen. पर आजकल क्या होता है? We are using bitumen, and this is a petroleum product. It is not a coal product. Okay. Now coal gas, it is a gaseous form. Okay, coal gas was used for street lighting for the first time in London in 1810 and in New York around 1820. Nowadays, it is used as a source of heat rather than light. So that means coal gas produces a good amount of heat. Okay, so now we have studied about the first fossil fuel, that is coal, how it is obtained, what are the main products of it. Okay, now the second natural product, that natural material that we get from nature, is petroleum. Okay, again petroleum is an exhaustible material, it is an exhaustible resource. If we keep on using it, it will get exhausted. Okay, now let's read about it. Now you know what is petrol. It is used in light automobiles like motorcycles, scooters and cars. Okay. And heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. Fine. So for light vehicles we use petrol, and for heavy vehicles we use diesel. Petrol and diesel are obtained from natural resource called petroleum. Now this is very important, that from where do you get petrol and diesel? We get them from petroleum. What does that mean? That petroleum is not a pure substance because it contains many other substances in it. Okay, so it is not a pure substance. The word petroleum is derived from petra, that is rock. So what does that mean? We get petroleum from the rock. Okay, this is an oil that we get from the rocks that are deep under the sea. Okay, as it is mined between the rocks under earth. Okay, do you know how petroleum is formed? Let us see. Petroleum was formed from the organisms living in the sea. So as we have seen earlier in the case of coal, how we obtain coal? By the dead remains of plants. Okay. And now how we obtained petroleum? From the organisms living in the sea. As these organisms died, their dead bodies settled at the bottom of the sea. Okay. And got covered with layers of sand and clay. As I told you in the case of coal, that sediments of soil keep on pressure compressing, keep on compressing the plants, and they get buried inside the soil, and with the time, with the high pressure and with the high temperature, it converted into coal. Now here also the same thing happens. Now the organisms that live in the sea, they get, whenever they die, their bodies settle down at the bottom of the sea. Okay, and with the time, as the time passes, so the layers of sand and clay, they keep on compressing these bodies inside, more inside the seabed. So over millions of years, and in the absence of air, high temperature and high pressure, जैसे कोल में देखा था high temperature and high pressure था, absence of air था, तो same thing यहाँ पर भी है. Okay, so petroleum, the transform the dead organisms into petroleum and natural gas. Fine. So now you have understood that natural gas and petroleum are formed from the dead remains of sea animals and plants. Okay. So you see that the layers containing petroleum, oil and gas is above that of water. Why it is? Why it is so? Why they are above the water? Because they are lighter than. We know that oil is lighter than water. Okay, oil is lighter than water. So that is why you can see that they are always floating above the water. Why is it so? Recall that oil and gas are lighter than water. Okay, so they are lighter and they do not mix with it. Now just mark this box. It is an important question. Where was the first oil well drilled? It was drilled in Pennsylvania in USA in 1859. After 8 years in 1867, oil was struck at Bakum in Assam. In India, oil is found in Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High and river basins of Godavari and Krishna. Okay. Now what is refining of petroleum? So refining of petroleum, I just told you that petroleum is not a pure product. Okay, you can get many other products from petroleum. So we need to refine it. So how do we refine? We refine it under different boiling points. So petroleum is a dark oily liquid. We know that. We have seen. It is a dark oily liquid. It has unpleasant odor. So these are the properties of petroleum. Okay, so just write it down. These are the properties. I'll write it over here. These are the properties. Dark oily liquid. It has unpleasant odor. It is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum, gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. Okay, so it contains all these things. So now I have just jotted down the points for you that how the refining process takes place. So the process of separating crude petroleum oil. Now crude petroleum oil means that it is not a pure substance. Okay. So we need to separate different constituents out of the petrol. Process of separating crude petroleum oil into useful constituents or fractions is called refining. Okay. So this is another process. Before this we have read about another process. What was it? Just remember. And in coal we have done a process that was carbonization. Okay. Petroleum is refined in a petroleum refinery. So there are different refineries made for refining the petroleum. Now what are the constituents of petroleum, like what the petrol contains? It contains petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax and bitumen. Okay, these all things are separated from the oil and based on the different point ranges. So this is very important. How do you separate different constituents from petrol? By the boiling points. Okay, they have different boiling points. So we will boil them and we'll keep on separating according to their boiling points. The crude oil extracted from the oil wells is transported to the oil refinery through pipes where it is refined into different useful fractions. Okay. So now let us come to the slide and we can see here that this is a figure that is given that how petroleum and natural gas deposits are there. Okay. So you can see that these are the wells and all. Okay, so now I have explained you all this. Now we can see various constituents of petroleum and their uses. So we can see that I have just told you the different constituents of petrol are petroleum gas. Okay, this is in liquid form. This is LPG. So you should remember the full form of LPG. It is liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, it is very important because it can be asked in your exams. Okay, and where it is used in fuel for home and industry. Okay, as you see the cylinders at your home. Okay, so that which type of gas is in the cylinders, that is LPG. Petrol, you know the uses of petrol. We use it in motors, vehicles, aviation. Okay, and it is also used in dry cleaning. Kerosene is also a constituent of petroleum and it is used in stoves, lamps and for jet aircrafts. Now another constituent of petroleum is diesel and it is used in heavy motor vehicles and electric generators. Then there is lubricating oil that we get out of petroleum and it is used for lubrication. We have paraffin wax that is used as ointments, candles and vaselines. Okay, the vaseline that you apply on your lips, that is a vaseline. We also call it as petroleum jelly. So you might have heard. petroleum jelly. Why it is called? Because it is a constituent of petroleum. Then you have bitumen. It is used as paints and road surfacing. Okay, or you can say metaling of roads. Metaling of roads. So these are the constituents of petroleum. Okay. So now I have prepared some, I'll just show you the PPT in which you can see the different uses or of constituents of petroleum. I know that this is a bit blur, but this is very important. So LPG, I just told you, it is used in gas cylinders, cooking gas for home and industry. Then you have petrol used for light motor vehicles. Kerosene is used as in stoves for cooking and in lamps to give light. Diesel is used in heavy motor vehicles. Lubricating oil is used for lubricating various parts of machines and engines. Now you know that whenever we are using machines and engines, after some time they wear out, the parts wear out, and they start making some noise. In that case we use lubricating oil or grease, you might have heard, to make them soft so that we can use them in the longer term. Now paraffin wax is there. So this wax is used in candles, vaselines, ointments and grease. Okay. And bitumen, as I have told you, I'm telling you again and again, this is a very important petroleum product. Earlier we were using coal tar for making or metaling the roads, but now we are using bitumen, that is a petroleum product. Okay. So now the next topic is natural gas. For natural gas, I'll make another video for it. This is the last topic. Okay. And along with this, I'll be telling you the important questions that will come in your exams definitely, because those questions are very important from the point of view of this chapter. Okay, so I'm ending this. If you have any questions or queries, you can post them in my comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, that is EXL Academy. So I am always there to help you out, students. Bye as of now, and do watch my second part of this chapter. Only natural gas is left. I'll make a separate video for it. Thank you so much.